Hey there boys and girls, Lucky here and welcome back to another CSGO video. Well, actually not quite a CSGO video, it's more like the question and answers video that I promised you guys a little while ago. But before we get right into the questions, I took a couple of the questions and put them together to a new one, or just kind of combined them, because many of you guys were actually asking for the same thing. So I thought I would just go ahead and kind of cramp them together a little and cover more questions all at once. So I'd say let's get it going. So, first question, what is my real name? So my real name is Dennis, but most people call me Densky or Lucky, and I actually feel kind of awkward if people call me Dennis over the internet, so I'd prefer it if you just call me Lucky or Densky, because that's also what the channel is about and stuff like that, so... Next up, how old I am? I am 23 years old and I'm turning 24 this September in 2016. Yeah, pretty basic question, now you guys know. Where are you from? So, a couple of people actually already know this, but I'm from Germany. I live between Stuttgart and Karlsruhe, if that says anything to you at all. And yeah, my native language is German, obviously, since I've been born here and I've lived here all my life pretty much. And some people know this by my accent. Even though I don't really have a strong accent, I still have one, so... Many people do confuse it though, they sometimes think I'm Danish or Swedish or from Norway, but I'm actually from Germany, so once again, there you go guys. How and why did you start YouTube? Interesting question. So this basically happened, I think, at around 2010, so one thing to notice, I always loved making videos, no matter what it would have been, like skateboarding or doing soccer or stuff like that, or parkour. I always made videos of everything, it's just kind of always been my groove, so to speak. And I started basically doing YouTube like I do now with gaming videos when I was playing some Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2 back in the days, because back then that was basically the only big thing on YouTube. And I saw this guy Tapes, he was playing, and I thought, well, those commentaries and stuff like that, that's pretty cool. I actually want to do that myself, so... That's basically how I started with YouTube, and there's not much else to it, and it basically kept going on and on and on over Battlefield, now to CSGO, and that's where we are right now. Now, a question that I received so often. Is YouTube your full-time job? No, not at all. Like, I would definitely love it to be my full-time job, but only 20% of the views that I have across all my videos are monetized, which means I am not getting 80% of the money that I could make from YouTube. So right now, the money that I make from YouTube is barely noticeable. It's almost non-existent, so if you want to help me make more money, you could turn off adblock, which in return would make me get the money, because as soon as you're using adblock, of course you're not getting paid for the videos that people are watching. But of course you don't have to, since this is my hobby and I'm not doing this as a full-time job, and I'm just making the videos for entertainment. But if you want to help me out, you could disable adblock for my videos, I'd appreciate it, but of course you don't have to. And again, next question kind of ties into the same thing. What do I do for a living? So right now I'm studying at university, which means I do not have time for a job, especially together with YouTube. No time for a job at all, which means I am not on the high money side, if you get what I mean. So I don't really have a full-time job right now, and that's basically what I do for a living. Not much. Studying. Are you planning on playing other games besides CSGO? Well, I do play a lot of games besides CSGO, I'm just not posting them to YouTube, because as soon as you're posting a different thing from what you're building your channel off on, it always gets kind of weird and people usually do not like it as much. I mean, I always see it if a CSGO video gets like 5k views, and I post like a Battlefield video, which I used to do back in the days, and it gets like 1k views. I see that people do not really watch it as much, and so I just play it for myself and do not post it to YouTube. And another question was also if I'm going to plan on playing other games, or better said, post other games on YouTube, and I'm not completely sure. Like, maybe in the future, but right now it's pretty much only CSGO. As I said before, I would love to play the Cold 4 Remastered, Battlefield 1 and Battalion 1944, which do have some potential for the channel. Maybe. What do you think about a matchmaking system? I actually think that if there would be no hackers and smurfs and stuff like that, then the matchmaking system would be quite alright. I think then it would actually be good enough to work well for everyone. However, the way it is right now, I mean, it's always a problem, because you're judging one person, or better, you're giving the points to one person, you're judging one person based around a team performance, which is kind of hard to do. So I also have a matchmaking video coming up with like ideas that I have to improve it and stuff like that. But it probably would be better to just have like a solo queue matchmaking and a queue with friends or pre-made matchmaking, if that makes any sense. But yeah, just wait for the video, guys. Would you like to go pro? Honestly, this is like another cool thing, which the same goes for like doing YouTube full time. And do I would like to go pro? I think I would. But as it is right now, I don't really have time for it, and I think this won't change in the near future. So going pro, I don't think is really an option for me. And I'm also not that great at CS. Like, I'm decent, but let's hop over to a couple of other questions, because they asked the same thing basically. But before that, is your hair tall? I don't know. Like, maybe. It's average, I guess. Why are you doing YouTube and not streaming? Well, first of all, back when I started YouTube, there was only YouTube. There was no streaming. Like, I grew up without internet, guys. Like, we had the first kind of internet things, and back then you were barely able to watch videos, and as soon as you were using the internet, you weren't able to use the phone, so the home phone. And yeah, it was quite weird back then, but biggest reason, first of all, that's just how I started with. Back then, Twitch wasn't really a thing. And another thing, of course, is that my internet is too bad for streaming, so we might upgrade next year, which might possibly be a thing, so I, again, then might be able to stream, but as it is right now, no chance, guys, my internet is just too bad. What's your favorite CSGO team? I do not really have a favorite CSGO team. I'm usually just all about a fair and square and good match, and in that scenario, I'm usually always for the underdog, so let's say it was, I think, Fnatic versus Luminosity. I was for Luminosity, even though I like Fnatic as well, because, like, Luminosity, they were the underdog, and they were kind of up-and-coming guys, and they were just kind of popping out of nowhere, and I really like that, so I'm usually for the underdog, or if, like, one team is in a big lead, I want the other team to succeed, but yeah, that's basically about it. So I just want to see a fair and square fight, and yeah, oh, on a second note, probably not because they're the best or my favorite team, but I do like mouse sports because they're a German team. Will you play Battlefield 1? I answered this before, and I might, but I just picked this question again because I used to do Battlefield on my channel. That was my main thing, and if the game is good, I will definitely try to post it again, but if they fuck it up again, like they did with Battlefield 4, I will not post any Battlefield content again. Same goes for Battlefield 3, because many people are asking about that as well. And I actually was hoping that they would kind of get the groove on, or get the hang of the whole, what's it called, Venice Unleashed, the Battlefield 3 Pro mod, but they never really got around to do so. So right now, no Battlefield, guys, I'm sorry. Any tips for starting out on YouTube? Yeah, I think I actually got 3. So first of all, you gotta do something that either no one has done before, or you gotta be better at the things that are already there. Next tip is that you wanna create content as often as possible without sacrificing quality. So usually a rule of thumb is that you wanna upload at least, let's say, between 7 and 3 videos a week to stay consistent, because as soon as you're not posting videos anymore, people will just go away, and that's also a big issue with people like taking breaks from YouTube. You gotta realize that as soon as you're taking breaks from YouTube, your channel is dying quite a bit. So, and last but not least, just try to network. And by that I mean that's like a thing that I do not do very often, which is a big problem why my channel is not growing as fast as other guys' channels. But yeah, just network. So by that I mean just work together with other YouTube creators and make content with them and kind of cross-promote each other. And that's working very well as well. Did your webcam die? So this was in the 50k announcement video, and yeah, the lighting was kind of off, and I think I fucked up a setting, which then... Focus back, so... did your webcam die? Yes, kind of-ish. The last time I fucked up the lighting, I think, and chose a different setting because I wanted to try something, and it worked out terribly, and I only noticed when the video was already uploaded. I usually check them like 2 or 3 times before I do upload them, but it was kind of an on a tight schedule, so I had no chance to review it. Hence why my webcam looked very shitty in that video. And by the way, I'm recording this on a new camera, so the quality should be... What YouTube plans do you have in the future? And the guy's asking specifically about user frags, so if I would do something like submitted videos and stuff like that. And no, not really. I just want to kind of keep doing what I do. If I find something cool, I will do that as well. But right now it's just like... I do not have time to make user-submitted content, because that's taking a lot of time. And as it is, I already have a 50-hour week at university, doing together with YouTube. I have a girlfriend. Oh god, I spoiled the question. Oh no! And of course, I want to still see my friends and stuff like that. And I'm also working on another video project with another friend of mine, which is gonna be awesome. I will post a teaser of that maybe in 3 months or so, but it's gonna be super, super cool. What's your biggest goal in life? And my biggest goal in life is to find out what my biggest goal in life is, because currently I'm not really sure about that, so I hope the answer is enough. Next question from me: when will I get a new haircut? Hopefully soon. No one actually asked this, but my hair is kind of annoying me right now, it just keeps falling into my face. Are you religious? No, not at all. Panda? I guess? Panda? Yes. How long did it take you to get good at CSGO? So first of all, I do not think that I'm really good at CSGO. I think I'm decent or above average. But for the most part, CSGO is quite a hard game for me, because when I started, and I think I'm spoiling another question again right now, back then with my friends I did not play lots of CS 1.6. I was still kind of young back there, and I did not have my own PC. And I did play quite a bit more Source, but also not all that much, because all my friends were at LAN parties and stuff like that. We were playing Call of Duty mostly and Battlefield, so the more casualized games, you could say. But back then Call of Duty also took some skill. It's not the game that the Call of Duty you know right now. So Call of Duty 2 and 4, they're completely different stories, guys. So if you have the chance, or if you haven't tried them yet, even though the graphics are a little outdated, give them a try. They're awesome games. Same goes for the old Battlefield titles. They're completely different from what Battlefield is right now, but they had a very different tactical feel to them, which made them awesome. What's your favorite skin? I think this also ties into the question with the Dream Knife, because my favorite skin would be a factory new, Star Trek of course, blah blah, so just a good condition, a Karambit, Marble Fade, or a Case Hardened with lots of cool blue patterns. And yeah, that's basically my favorite skin. How did you come up with the name? Actually, I wasn't the one who did come up with my name. It was actually a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, because back then my PC died, and I also at the same time, around the same time, got a PlayStation 3, and we were trying to find new names for our PSN accounts, and he, I think, took Killjack13, and then we were like discussing like what name could I take, and of course all the names were already taken, and at one point he was like, okay, use SkillFaker, and I was like, SkillFaker, that sounds pretty cool. I know, like back then we were like 15 or something like that. It was just like, okay, let's try it, and it was already taken as well, so I was like, damn it. And then I checked on YouTube, okay, SkillFaker already taken, damn it, SkillFaker is also taken on YouTube. But then he was like, okay, just make something like luckySkillFaker HD or luckySkillFaker 92 or stuff like that, and I was like, nah, I'm not really into numbers. And then luckySkillFaker. Did I say luckySkillFaker or just meant SkillFaker? And then of course after was luckySkillFaker. So yeah, that's how I came up with my name. It was actually my friend, and we're just kind of trying to find new names. How do I decide if I want to be a main AWPer or an entry fragger? So you actually can be both. Like AWPers can often be main or entry fraggers. That's a thing that I often do. But what you want to do is you want to learn all the roles, and only when you're really playing in a set team is when you kind of want to look what kind of playstyle is really for you, because you want to be able to play all of them. And yeah, this like you don't really have to choose. It's either or the other, and at the same time you gotta do both. Do you boil or fold your toilet paper? As many other people in Europe right here, I am on the folding side. How did your first love happen? Bad question right now, because I mean, she's in Trier. She's at university right now, so I'll cut in something with her right here at this point. Oh, it was at a bar, like very cliche, common, yeah. What's your favorite weapon? Obviously the AWP. I mean, I do not play it as often because I'm often pushed into the support role because I want to win the game, and people are like, oh my god, let me up, I'm so good, and they're not good at opping, and I'm cringing when I see it, but yeah, the op, I just would like to play it a lot more. Are you considering doing betting videos, and are you also trying to get a sponsorship, or are you considering getting a sponsorship by one of the betting sites? And no, absolutely not, I'm against betting. The only thing that I did was for Bananatic, because I thought they had a cool system by just playing free-to-play games and doing servers to get some bananas and then get some skins that way. I do not support betting in any way, shape or form, especially not if it's underage betting, which CSGO really is kind of. So yeah, no, not at all, and of course I don't want to offend anyone with that, but I do not think it's very good. What was your first FPS game and that you ever played is the question right here, and how did I start FPS games, and also how did I fall in love with sniping. So I said it before, like I think my first FPS game was probably some weird something on an old emulator that my father had on his PC, or maybe the PlayStation 1, but the first one that I considered to be my first shooters probably Call of Duty 1 or 2. Because those are the, like, I did play CS before that, but just a little bit of friends' place, and that Call of Duty 1 and 2, especially 2, were the games that I really had my own PC. I really kind of put some time into them and played them a lot. So that's the game that I would consider my kind of thing, and back then it was mainly bolt action rifles. There were barely any automatic weapons, and that's why I kind of fell in love with sniping. It's kind of how I developed the thing back then, was just like that, and kind of was my groove. Do you have any brothers or sisters? Yeah, actually I do have one brother and one sister, and both are younger than me. Yeah. Will you upload full matchmaking games? I might do that, but as I said before, my internet is kind of crappy for YouTube, and uploading a 40+ minute video is taking a huge chunk of my I can use internet per day percentage. So I will try to do, but I cannot promise anything. What's your mouse and what's your hand length? So I used to have the Razer Death Adder Chroma, that's just still sitting back there, but right now I'm using the Zoe EC1A, and my hand is about, I don't know, I think like 18.5 in height, and like 9 or 9.5 in width, I guess, maybe 10. Something like that, not quite completely sure. Do you have any private videos on your channel? Actually, no. All my videos that I have on my channel are either public or unlisted, and the unlisted ones are just back from like 2013 when I was submitting gameplays to top 5 plays in Battlefield 3 and 4. What's your favorite food? I was waiting for this question. Guys, this is a very important question. Pizza. Pizza. I love pizza. Just gotta put it out there. Do you P90 rush B every round? Yeah, sure. No, I don't. Yeah, was kind of a stupid question. But I hope you enjoyed this little Q&A video. I will hopefully cut it together, but because right now we're at 22 minutes, so I hope I can cut it down to at least half of that to make it a little more entertaining. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all for now. I hope you enjoyed the video, and luckySkillFaker out.